Hello everyone, welcome back to your channel. If you're visiting to your channel for a first time, then this is my small introduction. I'm thankful for each and every member because it's just you and just you who is helping me and this channel to grow. I thoroughly enjoy learning and sharing software development languages and technologies with you. It's a mission which I am trying to drive to share knowledge with everyone whose aim is to establish career in software. Please keep watching, sharing and motivating others to subscribe to your channel. Also press the bell icon to never miss the updates. Thank you. Let's start learning. So this is day 16, part 3 for Lightning Flow. And in the part 1 and part 2, we have learned in detail about each and every the topic which is required to create any Lightning Flow in detail. I hope you have enjoyed it and have learned from those videos. Now in this video, we will be going to create a flow, but how to create a flow? I mean, let's say when we do some sort of the coding, when we do some sort of the programming, then we do not directly jump to write the program entire the program. What we do, what we think the logic, we start writing our logic, and also we keep on checking by using the debug statements if we are going on a right track, or we need to change, or we need to correct ourselves. In the same way, we will be working on this particular the sample the flow, in which we will be learning in detail about all the possible way how we can write or how we can create our flow. Now the sample problem which I am taking here is, let's say a user has given an input, input of the contact record. So the system will first of all will check whether the contact is available in the system. If it is available, then we'll give an option if the user wants to update it. If not, then without any change, we'll proceed with the next step. Now, in the same flow, the second situation is, let's say if the contact is not available in the flow. So in such situation, what will happen? We will, again, we'll ask for an option whether you want to create the contact in the system. If user will say yes, then we will help the user in creating the contact. So we will, the entire the scenario, we will divide into parts. Okay, so let us see how we can try implementing, and we can achieve this in form of the flow. So let's get started in Salesforce. I have here the new flow, and I have taken the screen flow. So here, just remember, the first thing is we need to take input from the user. What input? The contact record. Okay, doesn't matter if it is existing or user trying to create a new one. Okay, I mean, this is something we will be looking in future. So what I will do here is I will first take a screen. Let me give the label. Okay. Screen will take the contact input from user. Now I have here this header, so I'm not making any change here. The footer, and I'm not making any change here. Done. Now always remember, when you are taking the input, okay, so it will be stored in a variable. Because we are taking the input from the user, we need a variable. What is variable and how, I mean, what is screen, what is variable? This is we have seen in part 2. New resource, variable, store, user, contact, input. Or it's okay, I mean, and that will be record. I'm not making as a allow multiple value. So I'm just making it here as I mean, I'm keeping it as unchecked. If I will select it as allow multiple value, then it will it will become a collection form of the variable. Now what kind of the value it should store? So I'm selecting the object is contact. Available for input, available for output. So I mean, I'm making it as I'm giving a capability to take the input, to store the input here in the variable. Now when I will be, if I will select the available for output, so the value which this variable will be storing can be accessible even outside the flow. So I don't want this thing. I need available for input, and when I select the available for input, it can take the value from any source. Let's say if I put this flow after creation on any record page, so it can take the value from that record. So I mean, to store, we have to select what available input. And if you're unsure about it, whether you need to select it or they keep it unselected, then don't worry, you can there is no harm to select it. This is available here. Now I need a form to take the user input. I will keep it as a false. Why? Because if you see here, if I will make it as true, then the user can even modify it or the copy the value. So I am keeping it as a false here. Feeds to display first name, last name. Now this is the variable which I have created. Okay. Same for the last name. So basically what I'm trying to do is you can, okay, so this is coming, I mean, maybe, oh yes, I have used this name as a screen, I mean for the screen component. Okay, let me do one thing. Okay, and what name I should give? User contact input. Okay, I will keep it as false. Why? Because this helps. I mean, you know, it prevents for modifying or copying the value, and if I make it true, then it will allow. So, the fields to display first name, last name. Then I will go into the advanced stage and manually assign value. Now here, what I will do, if you will see, store output values to select variable. So what I'm going to do here is, this is the first, I mean, this is the first name. So the variable, which I have created here, store, right? And same for the last name. So basically what I'm doing is, whatever the user is going to, he put here. Okay, let me show you. Whatever the user is going to put here, right? That I'm going to store in this variable. Okay, so I'm clicking on done here, and let me save it. Day 16, part 3. Okay, right now let me, I mean, whatever we have done, are we going on the right track? Let me, the check it. So I'm going to click on the debug here, and let me, the also I'm searching for customer service and contacts, and all contacts. Okay, so I mean, we will see whether our variable is getting the right value or not. I mean, whatever the user is trying to input, the variable should store the same value. This is what we are going to see here. So let me click here, and let's see. Correct. So values are, I mean, the variables are storing the right value. Okay. Now also, because uh, this is not existing in the system, or you should say, I mean, we haven't checked it, so there is no ID available. Let us also see if we use any existing one, whether the flow is able to you know get that record ID of the contact or not. This is the variable which we have created. So it has stored the contact with the ID. Andy Young, and that is what we have selected. But if you are thinking that why in these, when we have selected the existing contact, the name should should appear here, then this is we have the provision here. Let me show you. So you can use it like this. Let me save it and let me try debugging again. And here we have the value. Correct. Now let me show you one thing more, which actually I try to explain you, but it's always good to give a demo of it. See, now this is not available as an input field. We cannot make a change, and even we cannot copy it. So if you will, and that is what that I try to explain you, that if you will keep it, I mean disabled, so it prevents the user from modifying or copying the value. And because you have made it as true, that's why you are not able to modify or copy the value. Let me also show you one thing more. Let's say, I mean, now because the by default, let me try it again. Let me show you. See, it is not available. So that's why I intentionally have haven't changed it to true and kept it as false. We have understood the purpose now. Okay. So now our requirement is to give an option to select the account. Okay. So what we will do is, first we'll close it. So I'm clicking here and I'm using a Picklist. So basically what I will do, I'm keeping, just below the name, screen element, and I'm sorry, the screen, the element, and then, I'm giving the name as select account. Okay, I'm not making it as a required here. So it will be, because the account name obviously will be in text, so text. Okay. No option, I'm giving to select a multiple, because that is something is not actually is a business requirement. Component type we have is Picklist. Okay. Now here I am, I have a choice. This actually section will describe that what all values I should see in this drop down. So let me click on it. New and I'm selecting the my record choices. Again, this is we have a talk in the part 2 video. Okay, so I am option account options. Okay, uh, show all accounts to user. Okay, so then user can select. Now here I'm selecting the object account. Okay, and I'm making the condition as none, get all account record. I mean, all the account record I should be able to show. You have the option as the select sorted. So if you want to see in ascending, descending order, so you can. How many number of the choice, how many number of the account you want to show. So you can also define it here, but I want to show all, so I'm keeping it as a blank. Now this is something the is a choice label. I will the show you. So basically when I mean what the flow will do is flow will create a choice label when you select any account from the drop down. So I'm going with the option name. Okay, and name will be obviously will be the text type. So I'm keeping it here. Once you will click on done, you won't be able to change the the text type of it. So now what I'm going to do is here ID. Okay, and let me show you till here. I will explain you this part, but let me show you till here. So you can see here that the drop down. This is the name we have given to the pick list, and the choice has been created at runtime by the flow. So I'm talking about this choice. Okay, so what the choice we have seen here is it has taken the account name. Okay, and this is account options coming from here, and what value you have taken is ID. This is ID. If I mix the change here, I'm just trying to show you, and that's why I'm creating. I'm changing it so that I can explain and we can together can learn. See here. Why? Because this is we have taken the annual revenue. Now let me take as a different thing. correct? So this is, we are seeing from the choice label. So this is, I mean, whatever the field you will, you will select here, that becomes your option, or you can say that becomes the option for the user to select, right? Let me show you one thing as well. So here, I have taken the name. Now just compare the two results. Choice label selected, choice label selected, choice label selected. Now because here I have, previously I was using the name of the account in the pick list. That's why I was saying this name. Here I made it as billing city. Okay, so that's why there's a difference. Now another difference we have is the choice value is name here, but I mean that's why this is a choice value. But previously I was using ID. As I said that once you will the save it, you won't be able to change the data type, so there's no option. So let me correct it, because how I will be able to identify which account I am supposed to select. So I'm again making it here, and let me store the ID. Okay, now once I have selected, once I have selected this value, I need to store in a variable. Okay, so that's why what I'm doing here is now this section is purely meant for this thing. So if you remember, we have created this the store user contact information. So I mean I can use it, and with the dot operator I can use the account ID. So the I mean this what I'm selecting is going to store in this variable I created here, this variable. Okay, let me debug it so that we can identify again that the are we on the same, I mean we are going on the right track, or we are doing some mistake. So we are on a correct right step. Why? Because after the, let me open it. So this the ID, okay, the ID which I have after select when I selected the account from the drop down, the ID I have taken, and then that ID I have stored here. So if you will see here, this is the same thing we are doing here. So primate construction INC, because of the choice label, okay. Now this ID through this I'm storing in this variable. This is the variable. Clear? Now, next step is, so since now we have taken all the detail, like from the user, we have taken the first name, last name, account. It should be, now it should give an option whether the user can update the contact if it is existing, or user can save it into system. And there we need some logic behind. But let us the initiate a very simple, very the first thing, and then we will work on the logic part. The very simple part what I'm going to do it is, when I say the option should be available to the user to select whether they want to update it, or to create a new contact. Here we have component toggle. Okay, and I'm giving the API name as update create contact. Okay, ask user, check user decision, check user decision. Now, inactive and active, I mean, when I will click here, it will become active. So what it should show here, I mean, just for example, right now it's showing as inactive. So when it is inactive, what it should show here. So I'm giving the label. So when it is active, I actually want to take it as a yes from the user to update. Okay, and in inactive, save the contact. Okay, and nothing more I need to do. I will not select the manually assigned value. I'm not going to select this checkbox as manually assigned variable, and I will click on done. Let me save it, and let us see what we have achieved. So let me first of all give you the the knowledge about these things, and how or where from where we are getting the value. Again, click on here, see label, check your decision, check user decision. Active, update the existing contact, update the existing contact, because I make it update the app. And here I have the inactive, save the contact, save the contact. Okay, now let me try using the the value, and take this one, finish. So this is we have talked about all these information we have talked about earlier. This is the new thing. So update create contact, update create contact. Okay, the screen component, flow runtime, toggle, inputs, check user decision, label is check user decision, message toggle active, update the existing contact. So if it is the active, then this message. Okay, if it is inactive, then this message. Okay, now output, we have the output is Now, what you will be asking me, what is disabled equals to false? So this is, the this value. If you see here, to prevent the user from moving the toggle, set this attribute to true. By default, the value is false. Okay. Label, check user decision. This is saying, and message for active one, active one. Okay. Value equals to true. This is coming as true because we have made it as active. Let me show you once again. See, value equals true. Now let me do one thing. Let me run it again, and I will not select. I will not make it as active. Okay. Now, one thing, before before we talk further, whatever we have done so far is in the screen element, and as you have seen that the screen element is consist of the one or more screen component. Here we have used the name component. Uh, we have used the pick list. We have used the the toggle. So screen components are of basically of three types. One is your input display, and if you need something extra, you can also have the flexibility to use this from the app exchange, or you can create your custom one as well. I'm ending this session with a the little pause so that you can revise it. You can try it whatever we have discussed so far, and in the next one we will be you will be moving forward the same example so that we can the complete our scenario. Hope you have liked the the presentation, the session, and I do require your love in terms of the thumbs up. Thank you. Take care. We'll connect soon after a little pause with the next the part 4 flow.